State power in Tamil Nadu commands a budget of over $40 billion, a vast administrative network, and direct control over 72 million lives. For decades, the decisions shaping this massive state have flowed from one heavily guarded center of legislative authority. For 60 consecutive years, two dominant parties have strictly rotated control of the state's legislative agenda. They built an immense, deeply entrenched machine that effectively locked out any third-party challengers from gaining a foothold. Many highly popular figures tried to bypass this machine, only to be systematically crushed by the establishment's political infrastructure. Even as Vijay faced initial mockery from pundits and significant legal hurdles regarding party registration, he ignored the graveyard of celebrities who had failed before him. He arrived at the arena at the absolute peak of his career, holding the position as the highest-paid star in the South Indian film industry. Stepping away from the screen meant walking away from tens of millions of dollars in guaranteed contracts. It meant trading universal adoration for the brutal, unforgiving reality of a deeply partisan battleground. Yet, by May 4, 2026, he had done exactly what experts declared impossible. He broke the 100-seat barrier and upended the state's political architecture. How does a man who spent his adult life on movie sets systematically take apart a 60-year-old political monopoly? The establishment leadership made a critical miscalculation. They expected the typical celebrity playbook, loud announcements and massive vanity rallies. They even used bureaucratic delays and legal filings to stymie his progress, betting he would tire of the friction before the first vote was cast. Instead, the counter-strategy relied on deliberate silence. Rather than holding press conferences, years were spent quietly funding grassroots charity work, building community trust block by block without ever asking for a vote. This diagram illustrates exactly how that ground game was organized. You can see scattered, isolated fan groups rapidly snapping into place, forming a strict, hierarchical political machine. It bypassed casual fandom in favor of rigorous, disciplined ranks. The structure took root in the densest urban centers first. Starting in the fast-moving northern districts of Chennai, like Perambur, organizers focused intensely on localized voter contact drives. From there, the network systematically pushed south into the state's central heartlands. Districts like Trichy became heavily fortified nodes, turning local support into a sprawling, interconnected statewide map. The entire apparatus worked because it targeted a demographic the legacy parties consistently ignored. They organized millions of young, disenfranchised voters who felt completely disconnected from the traditional two-party system. When counting day finally arrived, the silent, hyper-local grassroots network directly collided with the massive financial weight of the establishment. This chart shows the disruption racing upward. TVK blew past all third-party attempts, crossing the 100-seat threshold on their first attempt. Isolating the Kolathur constituency reveals the ultimate shock. The sitting chief minister lost his long-held stronghold seat to a newcomer. Results like that do not happen by chance. A single election cycle effectively destroyed a 60-year political binary. The immediate aftermath leaves the political landscape of Tamil Nadu upended. TVK now holds the balance of power, dictating the exact terms of how the next state government will be formed. The outcome provides hard evidence that a deeply entrenched opponent, backed by billions of rupees in institutional funding, can be decisively beaten by sheer, organized conviction. The power shift belongs to the everyday citizens. It validates the young voters and the working-class families who actively demanded a different political route. The path there required immense persistence. It meant navigating the public ridicule and legal hurdles we discussed earlier by staying focused on the grassroots level. He survived the skepticism because he was already working where his opponents weren't looking. The reality of this victory gives you a clear template. Your past, whether you spend your days as a creator, an artist, or an office professional, does not permanently restrict where you can go. To achieve a massive victory, you have to be completely willing to abandon your comfortable life. The political map of a state of 72 million people just shifted. What will you execute with absolute discipline and conquer tomorrow?